We are going out on this Kawasaki Versys. I mounted this GPS on here. I like it because it shows me on my phone calls and text messages. And I just like seeing the next road coming up. Okay, so let's talk. I traded my 2017 Africa Twin for this Versys. And I actually, I got money back. So I actually made some money on that trade, but this bike is not a good bike to switch to if you have an Africa Twin, because the Africa Twin is such a better motorcycle than this one. And it's mostly the build quality, I think, is better, because there's hardly any vibration in the Africa Twin throughout the rev range. It's like silky smooth compared to this one. This bike has a lot of vibration in the foot pegs, in the handlebars, and in the seat, which can be annoying if you go on a long trip. So that's the biggest downfall for this bike, is the vibration. And the engine, it's very uninspiring. It doesn't have that good grunt of power like you get out of that Africa Twin. It's just like a linear power. It's like you don't really ever feel that strong pull. I know it's a 650, but I mean, there's probably some 650 sport bikes out there that pull pretty hard. And if you're coming up from a 500, like a 500X, to this, it will probably feel better. But when you're coming from an Africa Twin or something bigger, 1000, 1200, it's uninspiring to you, because you get so used to that power, and now you don't have it. So the more you ride it, the better, the more you get used to it. But don't get me wrong, this is a good bike. I mean, it is smooth. I'm not saying it's like horrible to ride or anything. It is smooth, and it's got enough power to do what you need to do. You can pass no problem. Even on an interstate, you can easily pass whatever you want. So it's got plenty of power to just go where you want to go. And the wind protection on this isn't the greatest. I had to add this visor on here to get the wind up over my helmet. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of buffeting and noise in my helmet. And I know that's part of riding motorcycles, but when it's real bad, it's pretty annoying. I mean, the Africa Twin had the same problem. I had to use that same visor on my Africa Twin, and it fixed it. It's pretty close to the same. There might have been a little better on the Africa Twin with the visor. But, it's pretty good, all in all. It's very tolerable with the visor on it. The brakes are pretty good. The ABS works very good. On my gravel driveway or riding across my yard or something like that, it won't let that tire lock up, you know. It does exceptionally good for that. You can probably hear the wind noise, which I don't have the best mic setup. At 70 miles an hour, there's a pretty substantial amount of vibration through the entire motorcycle. So, but it's a known problem with it. It's a really cool looking bike. I really like the styling on it. If they could just fix that. I think it could be fixed if they would just put a 3-cylinder 700cc 3-cylinder in this bike. It would be way better, because you add another cylinder, that'll make it smoother. And then it'd also be a lot more powerful too, being 50 more cc's, and then of course it'd be a totally different style engine if they did that. It'd probably feel more like a Tracer. I'm recording with a GoPro Hero 7 Black, and I got just a battery powered lapel mic connected to it, clipped up in my helmet here. It seems to do pretty good when I'm going slower and there's not a lot of wind, but it gets distorted when I go faster. I need to get something better. The handling on the bike is pretty good. The suspension works well. Really no complaints about it. I mean, I've played around with the adjustments on it, and I got it like I want it. For my style of riding, it does pretty good. And if my wife gets on with me, I have to adjust it a little bit in the back. But just the preload. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna stop right here in the shade. Do a quick walk around. All right, there she is. I really like that color. That moon dust. It looks really good. And then the red. The bike makes me think of Darth Vader, but I like Star Wars, so that's why I would think that. But I think it's a pretty good looking bike. The styling on it's pretty good. I guess that's why they haven't changed it, because when something's good, just keep going with it. I hate when they change a style when it's really good looking style. Like the Africa Twin, they keep changing it. I mean, I like the way it was for 2020. And now they done changed it again. I don't know, I don't get it. But